guys, how's it going? Today we are bringing back the container competition.
I'm gonna win.
You might.
Well, I don't know. Actually, looking at yours now, I'm not feeling as good about my odds.
Aaron versus me. Well, just because, you know, just in case.
Just in case of what?
Well, I don't know. In case I change my mind and want to use a different color.
Yeah.
So you guys, the pots on the east fence line, there are 10 of them. I will be planting up 5 of them. I picked out all my own plants and Aaron picked out all his own plants for the other 5. So they will all look different and it will be fun.
It's gonna be a riot of color.
It will be. We've planted up these pots for probably the last 6 or 7 years. One of those years we did a container competition, much the same as this. We picked out flowers from the same lot, like we had all the same flowers to pick from, but I think every single one of these combinations is gonna be different.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting.
Well, it'll be fun by the end because we can see what works and what doesn't work, and they're all sun except for one of them is in the shade, right?
Yep, and that's my pot, I think. I'm doing 1 shade pot and 4 sun pots.
Is this one gonna be?
That one's pretty much sun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much?
Pretty much.
Okay.
So for a few details on these pots, these are the jumbo.
Extra large jumbo jardin,
Okay.
I think.
Okay. They are 25 inches tall, 31-inch diameter on the top, and we've got all of them on a little platform right here because this was such an uneven space that we had them all leveled up and had the little platforms built. And then I used an angle grinder, which this one's not even sitting in the little channel, but I used an angle grinder to grind out a little spot right here so that our drip system can run up underneath the pot. And then it comes up and, you know, we've got the 1/4-inch drip tube right here. Looks like we are gonna need to top up with a little bit of fresh soil and we need to get our fertilizer as well. So that's step number 1,
Okay.
getting them all prepped. Aaron's gonna test the drip too here real quick before we get going because that drip was, yeah, we just got it set back in its channel. We'll see what happens here. We filled these up with new soil last season. So we're not going to do a full swap out. We're just going to top them up with fresh and then put that slow release in there. And we do fertilize with a water soluble fertilizer once a week throughout the whole season as well. So that gives the plants all the nutrients they need. Yep, it's starting to bubble. Oh yeah. Perfect. Awesome. Should we check all of them? You have it running for a minute?
Yeah, I can run it for another minute.
Well, no, I think a minute's all we need. That one's going. That one's dripping. That one's good. That one's also running. And last one is not even in its pot, but it is running. They all appear to be working. Getting everything set up and prepped is more than half the battle, I feel like. I got potting soil for mine, and Aaron
Compost for
is
me.
going to do compost.
Because got to make sure I charge the soil with all the nutrients.
Perfect. Kind of wish it was an overcast day. Wouldn't that have been nice?
Yeah. Does this look good?
That looks great. Do you want any of the slow release, or are
yeah.
you good? Okay. I'm excited to see this because we haven't studied each other's yet. I mean, I've glanced inside your gator, so I know kind of what you've got, but what are you gonna do first?
My first combination is a combination of sparkling rose, superbena,
Beautiful.
which is nice. I like this better. What's the other pink? Cashmere?
Pink cashmere is a
one's
delicate
fine.
pink.
Yeah, it's just not as like punchy as this one.
Sure.
And I like punchy. This is Queen Tut, which is the best tut.
It is.
In my opinion. So the other ones I like too, but
I agree.
I think this one's the best tut. There's King, Prince, and Baby.
Yes.
And Queen.
And Queen.
Yeah. And then Sparkling Amethyst, which I also like.
That's going to be really pretty.
Just the 3 plants.
And you're going to do 3 as your centerpiece. 3 queens.
Yeah, so I decided since the Queen Tut is not that big, I mean, it gets good. What does it get?
I think it
size-wise?
gets like, it has a potential to be 2 by 2.
Oh, that's not very tall, but it's tall enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be good. So,
Okay.
3 of them I think makes sense.
Awesome. Here, I'll help you. I will take out tags.
Okay.
Taking tags out in the beginning, I think makes it a lot easier. I think I got them all.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna arrange it like this.
Oh, that's gonna be so pretty.
Does that look
Yeah,
good?
that looks really good. Yeah.
So the 3 in the middle, and then just every other.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
I think it's excellent. Do you want any help?
Yes.
I could help you after you lay them out the way you want.
I think this is gonna be beautiful.
It will be. My turn. We're gonna go straight up potting mix in my containers. I'm excited to see what yours do. All right. We're gonna do a purple fountain grass as a centerpiece. Not very root bound. Sometimes if you wait a little longer in the season to plant these get root bound so fast. In this case, it's really healthy root system. We'll get that in first. This is my blend right here. So we've got Super Petunia Black Cherry. We've got Super Petunia Persimmon. And Super Petunia Saffron Finch.
That saffron finch looks really vibrant.
It does. Now, I'm going with 9 in my container, which is probably excessive, but I don't care.
Well, I did 9 in the last one. It was just that I had 3 centerpieces. You just have 1.
Well, I guess I have 10 then with my centerpiece.
Oh.
I think this is, I don't know what to think about, like, or how to describe this mix of colors. It's like very warm, kind of tropical-ish.
Yeah. It's this one that has the tropical vibe.
Yeah.
What's this one called again?
Persimmon.
The persimmon?
Mm-hmm. It's really pretty.
It looks a little bit different from last year. I remember it being a little more orangey last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh, I don't have any recollection of that.
Man, you're so fast at that.
Planted a couple of pots before today.
That'll look nice.
I hope so. You could do 6 of these easily, just 6, just 2 of each of the Super Petunias. Now I'm looking at it, I'm like, maybe I should have done that, but it's all right. This is all in the name of experimentation.
Do you think any one of these will take over the others? Or do you think they'll all play pretty nice?
I think they might play pretty nice because none of these are a Vista. But based on experience, I feel like the persimmon and the saffron finch might be a little bit more aggressive than the black cherry.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there.
I'm interested also if the grass is going to stay short for a long time. It seems like sometimes the grasses, like, they just sit for a month or 2.
And then they boom.
And then they get really big really quick.
This variety in particular, though, tends to be a little bit faster.
Okay.
All right, you ready for your next one?
Yeah.
I just broke that GoPro. I broke it good. Okay, quick break because somebody just ran over a GoPro. It was me. I forgot I leaned this camera up against the front of the gator and all the soil bags were blocking it. I couldn't see it. So anyway, I think that we lost the footage of us just planting Aaron's pot right there. Bummer. I've only shattered screens on a GoPro. I think this is my 2nd time. Throughout all these years, I think that's pretty good. Surprised I haven't done it more.
Crunch it pretty good.
I did. I didn't break the battery pack though.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
As Benjamin would say, that's chomped.
that has been chomped.
Now some might say this is a cop-out, or I'm being lazy, but I kind of like 1 plant per pot. So we're gonna go with bubblegum, which is one of the most vigorous Super Petunias. And we're just gonna go with 1 plant.
Perfect.
And it's gonna be stunning.
it will
just
probably
wait.
will be. That's a stunner.
Isn't
right
it?
there. Oh yeah.
Look at that.
That is nice.
Look at how
it
nice
gets
that
all
looks.
that drip just to itself. Look at that.
Probably should bring the drip in a little closer.
I always want to just err on planting more than 1 just in case one of them dies. Then you'd have a 2nd one, you know, to...
How often do they die?
Well, sometimes, you know, just in case.
Like almost never?
Well, maybe. Yeah. That looks great, Aaron.
There you go.
Pot number 2.
You know what though? Give this a month and it's gonna
That's
look
true.
awesome.
It will.
You know, I've been reliably informed that you can save a lot of money by putting things at the bottom like pop cans, styrofoam.
Who told you that?
Oh, I read it on the internet.
Oh, did you? The internet knows. My next one is going to have a plain the blue salvia as the centerpiece. And these get 2 to 4 feet tall. Yeah, 2 to 4 feet tall and spacing 18 inches. So it's kind of perfect for a centerpiece. It'll be kind of like a vase shape right there. So I'm not sure if I'm going to use these. I want to lay this thing out first. These are the New Look Dusty Miller that I started from seed last winter, and then I used them in the Versailles pots last year, and then dug them out and potted them up and had them in the greenhouse. And I thought about possibly putting them around. They're not going to get much bigger than they are now, and so the plain the blues will come out through it. I think it's too much.
It's your pot. Just know that you will be judged.
Will I be judged?
Well, we're all going to be judged.
Yeah, true. They're so pretty.
Because we'll do like probably monthly updates.
Probably.
And have people vote.
I'm going to just bury one of these and just see what I think. Just want 3. Okay, so you got to use your imagination on this one. Just plain the blues coming up through it. And I honestly feel like, so plain the blues is an awesome annual, and it's one of my favorites. When it gets big, it can be a little bit brittle in high winds, which we get around here. So if I've got something around it kind of bolstering it up a little bit, I feel like it's going to be a bit more protected in the end. So that's going to be pretty. Now around the outside, we're going to do Petunia Vista Ultramarine, which is like an Royal Velvet rather, but it has a little bit more of an aggressive growth habit, and it's got a little bit smaller flowers, but that same dark purple, and Superbena Sparkling Amethyst. So we'll have this purple ring around the bottom, and then this bright silvery blue, and then the blue flowers up here.
You almost feel like we should add like twice the amount of drip.
And run them less amount of time.
Yeah.
Maybe. You can see how they do with this and kind of go from there.
Well, now's the time to change it if you were going to, because it's just going to get harder and harder to change it out.
Well, you know what? You knock yourself out. If you want to do that, you go for it. I would rather just run them longer and not have to go to the extra work, because this is brand new drip.
Yeah, but we keep having issues where they plug up, like, you know, a couple weeks, month into them being put in.
Okay, so that one's done. And you look in there, you can see the centerpiece. We'll just give it a little time, but it's kind of like this Petunia bubblegum. Like in a month, things will look a lot different.
Might win the award for most improved. Okay, my next one, more saffron finch, which I like. Sweet Caroline, Sweetheart Lime. This is the one that stays in check, right?
Yes, yeah, I like that one the best.
It doesn't get crazy.
Right.
Okay, so we got these two, and then no blooms, Petunia Bordeaux.
That is going to be so pretty.
So just the 3 plants, no centerpiece.
Awesome.
Just 3 plants, multiples of the plant.
Like 3 of each?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with more saffron finch. So there's just gonna be little pops of purple.
Okay.
But it'll be the majority yellow.
And that's exactly how you want it laid out?
Well, tell me if I'm wrong.
Well, I just want to know because I can get in there and help you.
Okay. Yeah, this is good.
Okay, perfect. Okay, that one is all done. So soon we'll have some purple showing in that container. I think that's going to be a really pleasing one, especially with the cooling. This is always so cooling to see that color.
Yeah.
Really pretty.
It'll look good.
Okay. In this one, we're going to go with pinks, and I've got the Carolee Petite Pink Gara. And this one is a petite plant. So I am going to use 3 and kind of spread them out in the center here. So they can be a nice big bulky centerpiece, and Gara is such an awesome centerpiece plant. While they look a little bit kind of like messy a little bit in a way, when they're surrounded by other things kind of around the base of them, they look kind of magical and fairy-esque, and I just love the movement that they bring to containers. I remember the very first time, I think it was 2 seasons ago, I used one as a centerpiece and I was skeptical, and now I'm a total believer. I love it. And we're gonna surround that with 3 Petunia Vista bubblegum. That's it. So this will probably be my lightest container in terms of plant count. 6 plants total. I kind of love monochromatic things too, seeing that pink on pink.
Yeah, that'll look really nice.
I think so. We'll see.
I still don't really understand how you plant in like a fluid motion. Like you scoop with your hand and then just stick the plant in there?
So watch, you want to get in close on
Yeah,
this?
okay.
So hopefully this is an easy place to dig, but typically I can stick my hand in, scoot the soil over, root ball goes in, pack the soil in around it.
Wow. I stand impressed. It's one of those things that I wouldn't have been impressed unless I tried it myself.
Sure. I remember my mom and I would have planting competitions when we did the downtown containers. See who could plant them the fastest, basically to kind of help us get through the project.
Yeah.
Got to make it fun. Because sometimes, especially when it's busy down at the garden center, it's not as fun to go down when you've got a huge day full of planting ahead of you and you know that the garden center is just so busy with other things going on. Okay, that one's done. I think it's going to be beautiful.
My next recipe is going to be Rockin' Play in the Blues Salvia, which is going to get kind of big.
Yeah.
And then the two Super Bells. And I don't actually know, how big do these get? It's Twilight, double Twilight, Super Bells double Twilight.
6 to 12 inches tall, and you space them, it says 12 inches.
I feel like I used like 12 words to say that it was Super Bells double Twilight. But, and then this one is Super Bells double White.
That's going to be beautiful and soft.
So just one in the center. Mm-hmm. And then put these around.
Perfect. That looks good to me.
All right, we plant. I think I got 3 planted that time.
You did great. So for this next container, I'm only using 2 different types of plants. The first one is a perennial grass. So we get to plant this one in the landscape after we're done using it in the container this summer. This is a panicum called Niagara Falls. And in the landscape, they are impressive. So I'm excited to see what it does in a container. I mean, it looks beautiful right now with these beautiful kind of arching plumes, but they grow 4 feet tall by 4 feet wide. So it's definitely not something that would want to stay in here for long term. So it's perfect to use it for just this summer and fall season. Zone 4 through 9. And I'm gonna rough up the roots just a tiny bit. There we go, there's our centerpiece. These are beautiful in the fall too. Gonna turn that beautiful wheat color and the plumes kind of color up. Around it, we are gonna be planting 5 of the Hoopla Vivid Orchid Supertunia. I was completely impressed by these last year. I did not expect to be impressed just because I'm usually not a huge fan of the sharp contrasting colors in a single bloom. I like something that's striped or something with a bright white margin like this one. But it won me over, and I think it's just because it performed so beautifully. We had it in the hay racks, you know, on our fence line, and then we also had it out in the landscape. And in both situations, it was amazing. So it bears repeating for sure. And I think this is going to be a beautiful look, kind of that soft sagey green with the pink blooms. What do you think of this grass, Aaron?
I like the grass. I like the petunias too.
Sometimes to you, I feel like bluish things can look a little dry.
Oh, I actually think that I might prefer that grass to the, what's the other one?
Purple fountain grass?
Yeah, purple fountain grass. Yeah.
Why is that?
I'm not sure. Maybe the seed heads are a little more interesting.
They are
A
interesting.
little wispy and
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll focus
Like
in the camera, but
very fountain-esque.
yeah.
Okay, mine's done.
Okay.
This is your last one.
This
Hot
is my
number
last
5.
This is going to be simple. It's going to include lemon coral sedum around the edge and then the Carolee Petite pink as a centerpiece.
That's going to be pretty because look at the contrast just in leaf color right there. Oh, I love it.
So we'll do 3 of the centerpiece. How tall do these get?
24 maybe?
Go like that.
20.
I don't want them to get too tall.
Now remind me, because I think you did a lemon coral sedum
And a canna.
And a canna.
Yeah, and
was
the
it
canna
a red?
was too tall.
Oh, I thought it was kind of an interesting combination.
It was okay, but yeah, I think it was a little bit too. The canna was a little bit too much.
This is so pretty.
You know what? I should have planted grass in one of mine, like actual legitimate grass that I come out and mow every week.
Lawn grass?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Too much?
Too much drip?
No.
Oh, the lawn grass?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's enough lawn for you, Aaron. You need to be capped at some point. I actually thought about doing an edible container too, like an amazel basil, but I didn't have my act together. that's going to be beautiful. It
Yeah.
already is. Like when you look down this way, you know what I see is the lemon coral sedum, the saffron finch, and then the saffron finch in the pot. The first one I did way down there.
Yeah.
So anything with yellow in it, it just shows up.
Yeah.
So this last container of mine is pretty much in the shade, don't you think, all the time? Almost. We've got a blueberry tree up
Basically,
above
yeah,
us.
it's a full shade container.
So I have a bunch of things, and I honestly don't know how I'm going to lay it out. So I want to mess with it just a little bit and kind of, I don't know, try out different combinations, and then we'll talk through what I'm going to actually plant. Okay, so I had these fairy trail bride hydrangeas that I thought might do okay in this spot. I don't know though.
The tag says you can't do morning sun?
Well, no, it's a sun part sun, but I read on one of their posts at some point that it was the grower or the breeder or somebody said not to position these somewhere where it gets sun in the morning because something about the frost and damaging buds. I don't know. I'll have to look that back up. So it just gave me pause because I thought I had read something along those lines. Not that we have frost here and they would be out of this container before, but if it's going to need more sun to be productive bloom-wise, I don't want it to sit here and just not be floriferous.
Yeah.
It needs to be floriferous to be up here. So we are going to go with lime thyme coleus. Probably only need one in this container, but we're going to go with 3. Persian shield right here, which I don't have a lot of experience with, but I love the color. I love the color contrast. Then we've got the Surefire Rose Begonia right here, and then we've got the big leaf Muhlenbeckia or wire vine as kind of our trailing accent. They're all beautiful plants, so it's going to be interesting to see how they all kind of come together and how they do with each other. Here we go. Notice you're not jumping in on my containers there.
Well, you know, I got to hold this camera right here.
Right. Well, of course, because that one just turned off.
Yeah.
These are so deceiving, like how petite they are when you plant them. And you think, oh, I can fit 3 in that pot, and then later on you're like, oh, why did I do that?
Well, here in the shade, they probably won't get massive, but if they were in the sun, they'd get like, 3 feet tall.
Probably. What are your thoughts on this wire vine, Aaron?
It's okay. It doesn't jump out at me.
No?
No.
It might surprise you by the end of the season.
Love that begonia though.
I know, it's a beauty. So that's it, you guys. That's all 10 of our containers, all done. So now we're gonna water them in. Even though they have a drip system run to each container, we always like to settle in all of the soil around all of the root balls. It's the same for self-watering containers too.
Yeah.
That initial watering, you wanna do it with a hose or a watering can, and that way you can correct any issues. If any soil settles a little bit too much, you can add more at that point. And then we'll start our weekly fertilizing schedule 1 week from now. Is that?
You could do it right away, couldn't you?
Yeah, if you want to mix it up in the tank today, we certainly could.
Yeah, maybe I will.
And maybe you should fill it all the way because I could do my ranunculus and I could do all kinds of things with that.
Yeah.
We're also going to wait till either this evening or tomorrow morning, and we'll come out when they're all in a little bit more shade. We'll get pictures of each one of them and we'll label them 1 through 10, and we would love to hear your predictions. Maybe vote on which one is your favorite to begin with, and then we'll have you keep voting throughout the season based on how they perform. So out of all the ones that you planted today, do you have a favorite?
I don't know. Let me go look.
You gotta look again. There's one.
This one's cool, but not my favorite. I'm excited about this one. I'm excited about the change of the bubble gum, how much bigger it's gonna get.
Yeah.
And I think it's gonna get huge. I think it's gonna end up being kind of a monster plant. And that'll be impressive. And then the first one I did.
Yeah, with
I'm excited about that
Supervena.
too. Yeah. Which one for you?
I like this one because I like purple, but I actually really like this one with all the warm colors. And I know that's kind of surprising, but I think it's going to be such a pretty blend. And this type of red I've always liked, that kind of burgundy. It's more of a cool red. So while they're sort of all warm, it's not like, bright fire engine red. I think it's going to be interesting. All right, guys, so now we're just going to leave you with either images or a little video of each one of the pots with numbers. Let us know which one is your favorite to start off. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next one.